All right, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly why you are not seeing results with your entire sales process, primarily focused around acquisition. So this is cold email, cold calling, your ads, your content that you're posting. This is the one factor that I've seen across the 2 million cold emails that I've sent to date for the people that see results and the people that don't see results. It's primarily cold email, but it does extrapolate out to other channels because the main driver that we're going to be talking about in today's video is your offer. The offer is likely what is holding you back from seeing results, no matter what channel you use to utilize. Primarily, we start with cold email because that is the fastest and easiest to solve for. And I will break down all of that in this video so that way at the end, you can walk away with the changes that you know that you need to make to your offer, make it irresistible for front end cold traffic. So that way you can start booking meetings on your calendar consistently week after week, because we break this down to a science and to a math that I've explained in other videos, but I'm going to break it down all in this video right here. So let's get into it. So fix the offer and everything else will get easier. Unlock unparalleled results in cold email and sales by mastering the art of the irresistible offer. Specificity and value are the keys to converting cold outreach into profitable relationships. So your service does not equal your offer. So I don't care if you're B2B, B2C, most people watching this video are going to be B2B, but it doesn't matter that you're a recruiting platform, you do commercial cleaning, you do lead gen for home service companies. Nobody actually cares about the business that you're in. And this is also why nobody cares if you've just built something super unique or specific. People only care about what they actually get out of that interaction with you. And when they're receiving cold emails, a big filter that is going through their mind, if they even get past the offer part in the like middle section of the email, is this even worth my time, or am I going to be at a loss here for the value that I'm getting in return? So we have to develop what is called a front end cold traffic offer. So first you have to make this quantifiable. You have to have a specific numerical outcome that you've generated for either somebody else or you've generated it for somebody like in this industry that you know that you can get results for these people, and you plug that in to not only your service offering, but you ideally tie this to a time frame. You let them know that you can do the same for them, and then you add a risk reversal or some type of guarantee. Ideally, there are ways to work around this and not necessarily have to use a risk reversal or a guarantee, but just keep in mind that your results are going to be lower. The reply rate, probably the success of that campaign, and I say success lightly because I'm just judging it off of response rates, is going to be lower, right? So ideally you have all of these frameworks put together. Some examples of that would be we help 5,000 plus employee companies reduce cost per hire by 60% in 6 months, or you don't pay. So quantifiable outcome, and then a risk reversal or some type of guarantee. We will cut your cleaning cost by 20%. If not, we refund you 100%. So it's quite literally no risk to the buyer. We will make sure you land 2 confirmed jobs in the next 10 days, or you don't pay. That's the offer for like home services that work with lead gen. Quite literally, you can steal this stuff and start plugging it in and using it right now. Now, this is the fastest way to test via cold email using this because you go directly to the decision maker. That's what we primarily do at our firm. But this can also back out to running ads or posting content, whatever it may be. Cold email is just the best mechanism to actually solve for this offering, because you don't want to be wasting tons of money on ad spend if you haven't even cracked the offer that works for front end cold traffic. Because if it works on cold email, it's going to work on like your ads and like your LinkedIn DM, stuff like that, right? So the service didn't change. It was just the framing that we switched. That's the entire game that you have to be thinking about. Nobody cares that you built something unique. Nobody cares that you built a new SaaS that, solves all of your problems or this industry problem. You have to be able to get that in front of them in an offer statement. So every offer that converts has 3 parts. There's the claim, so a specific quantifiable outcome like I talked about, not will help you grow or just talking about your service, but instead we cut waste spend by 30% for facilities doing 10K per month in hauling cost. If we don't, you don't pay. That's like for commercial waste cleaning. The proof, so names, numbers, specifics, competitors, adjacent companies, who you've done it for, and exactly what happened. Ideally, you can send that email to them. And then in response, if they have any questions or any objections, or they're just asking for more information, you can either send them one of your YouTube videos, or you can send them a custom Loom video response where you're selling the call on the back end of that. That works really well for us. That works really well for our clients. So you can steal that one. That's been around. So your offer is probably fine. Like if you can get down the phrasing for it, you just have to tweak the proof around it to be a fit for that industry, and make sure that you use quantifiable data that I'm talking about, and not just like vague, like we'll help you grow, because everybody's heard that. The risk reversal, so this could be pilot programs, this could be guarantee, performance pricing. This is mostly like when you're early on and just starting to do some like performance only, because you're shifting the risk from the buyer to you. You basically want this, kind of Hormozy style, making an offer so good that they're going to feel irrational if they don't respond or that they say no, right? So specificity signals competence. If you're just using vague terms, or you're trying to sell why you're important because of like we're unique because of just some type of like software or something like that, that's not really going to generate that much of a solid reply rate. You're going to see like the 0%, like no replies, to 0.5%, or you're just going to have a reply rate of like 1.5 to 2%, but they're all going to be negative and just like not interested, take me off your list, stuff like that. When you're specific, we help company name that's adjacent or competitor or similar reduce Indeed spend, like Indeed ad spend or job posting spend, by 1 million in 6 months. That is where you're going to see that like 8x lift with like a 4% reply rate that we push for some of our clients. Same audience, different framing, and your buyer is going to decide in 3 seconds whether to keep reading. Specificity is really the only thing that buys you those next 3 seconds. Like I said, you have to be thinking of it in terms of they're receiving that email and they're thinking about, is this even worth my time? And don't just pick one offering, like one deliverable that you can give them on the back end of that offer of like, we helped X do X in X days without pain point or burden. And then you can have some different options there of your CTA of like, yes, we can do like a strategy call. It could be like sending over a case study, sending over a white paper, sending over like a custom video breakdown over Loom. You can even start to like take Manus and like build like landing pages very, very quickly and send them over custom landing pages as not necessarily a proposal right now in this stage, but sending them over something that would solve their problems on that landing page that's custom to them. And then also just offering straight up like, hey, we'll do this for 30 days. If we don't hit X, you don't pay. And then typically they will get on a call with you after that. It's also very important with this math that you are tracking how many sends it's taking you to get to an affirmative response, and then how many affirmative responses is it taking you to get to a call scheduled. Because from that math that I've spoken about in other videos, and I'll link down below my latest video where we were generating a client 6% reply rates with his offer, and booking with names like Corporate Finance Institute and Idaho Power. So you can go check that out after you watch this video. But you want to be tracking this because that way you can figure out where is the best offer and where is the best call to action. Because those are really the two variables that you can manipulate within a cold email, as like the offer and the copy are kind of batched together. And then the CTA is batched over here. Subject lines, I've been using some of the same ones for years and years, and they still work fine. You just have to get the attention. So cold email is just offer times volume. It's quite literally an equation. So if you're sending 10,000 emails with a bad offer, it's just going to result in 10,000 emails ignored. Volume in of itself is not going to just like solve everything magically. You still have to have the skill of copywriting and offer creation and offer refinement in order to actually make this work at scale. So volume is just what is used to test that first variable, that offer variable with. So if you're able to have the infrastructure that can support, 5,000, 10,000, even 30,000 cold emails a day, when you have that volume that's pushing that, you're able to test like a massive amount of volume and different offers to a relatively large section of your TAM in a short amount of time. And I know that what people are going to say is like, oh, well, you're just going to burn through your TAM super quick, and you're going to exhaust these companies. But that's just not the reality. That's the reality if you send the same email over and over and over again and never change the copy and never segment the list differently and never change the offer, right? That's because cold email is not a set it and forget it system. Nothing is. The ads, cold email, content, you just can't set it and forget it. It has to be constantly managed. So, with that being said, if you have this fear of like, oh, we're just going to burn through our TAM or like this first list of target accounts, that's just not true. Like we, for example, like our domains and our inboxes are constantly rotating, and we're changing the offers like on a weekly or monthly basis. When you're doing that, it lands as a fresh email to the prospect. It might be similar in an extent, but it's a fresh email that lands. Okay, so reply rate, bad offer, obviously lower reply rate. This could be a deliverability issue if you're quite literally just stuck at zero and you're not even inboxing, you're not generating replies whatsoever. Reply rate is either going to be very low, or your reply rate is going to be like a 1.5 to 2%, and they're just going to be a bunch of negative responses, which that can be a targeting issue as well. There is some nuance to this, but that should answer it for this video. And then, yeah, what you're looking to get is above a 2%, ideally like a 4% if you've really done a great job. Reply rate, we have had some client campaigns go up as high as like 6 to 9% reply rates, but do keep in mind that is an anomaly. That is not like the industry average or anything whatsoever. If you're, running at like a 2% reply rate, 2.5% reply rate, and you're constantly booking meetings, you have affirmative responses, you're in a good place. That's a good sign. So the formula is offer times volume, and most companies try to solve a results problem just by increasing the volume. They're like, we'll do more outreach, or hire like a contract SDR, or just post more content or run more ads for this. When really the issue is just the offer itself, and now for unnecessary reasons you've bloated the headcount. Probably you have a couple clients churning because you can't pay as much attention to them because the offer was just the issue in the first place. So fix the offer and every channel gets easier. Yes, I am originally a cold email guy, but we do like LinkedIn content. We do LinkedIn outreach. We do meta ads, landing pages and funnels as well. And then, of course, we do help with some sales consultations. That being said, cold email being my bread and butter, it's like the first thing that we want to solve with. You start by testing and solving this with cold email, and then it can extrapolate out across your funnel to like LinkedIn. It can go to ads. It can go to these landing pages, because you're just using cold email as not only a mechanism to book meetings and do lead generation, but you're also using cold email to test a multitude of different offers at speed. Like I mentioned earlier, with us, like we're able to send a very, very strong amount of volume within like those first 30 days compared to these other agencies that are going to take like 3 to 6 months to hit that same amount of volume. So start with cold email, then you move to like LinkedIn and ads. You start building out your landing pages, and then obviously like the sales calls are just a feedback loop for that. You're taking the sales calls you're generating over here, taking any objections that are reoccurring, and you're starting to feed the loop again by plugging that into cold email, plugging that into your content, to your ads, to start to handle those objections up front, right? So one strong offer is going to unlock every channel simultaneously. So stop trying to think of it as something as like cold email doesn't work for us, or ads don't work for us, or this type of funnel doesn't work for us. Sure, that may be true in some instances where like certain industries are harder to get results for with a certain channel because of the buyer persona. But overall, you should be thinking this of something as an offer problem, and not necessarily like ads don't work for us, or content doesn't work for us, or cold email doesn't work for us. Start with fixing the offer first, test that across all those channels, and then you can start saying that, okay, this channel like actually doesn't work for us. Cool. So if you are wanting results like this, I'll just scroll through them very shortly. This is just a small batch of results. You can see like this client right here. We got 4 meetings, on the calendar with him. and he was able to close one deal from that, and that was within like a week and a half. That's Marco. I have other videos with him as well. You can see positive responses from CFI, positive responses, bookings with SAP, Kaiser Permanente, Hogan Lovells, UPenn, some of the biggest names out there. So if you're wanting something similar with results like this, just blow top off your cold email and your go to market, go ahead and book a call with me down below.